The team strives towards unwavering resilience, formidable strength, and unmatched intellect. They aspire to carve a legacy of their own. Their mission is not just achieving success, but fostering personal growth through unwavering support. Welcome to the third episode of BhoomiTalks. Here, our hosts for today are Sara and Bhavika, and we have in front of us Minha, who is graphic designer of Team Minerva, aiming for the architectural field. She's a self-taught artist and a designer. And we have Shabrinath, who is a resource manager, aspiring engineer interested in research and financial history. Hello, guys. How are you today?
Hello, we're good. Thank you for having us.
It's great talking to you guys. So, we'll get into the interview now. So, since we're talking about sustainability, how do you guys integrate sustainability into your overall strategy and your day-to-day operations?
So, throughout the entire process, sustainability has been one of the most important aspects. And one of the most significant things we've done is we've tackled it in more ways than one. It's not just environmental sustainability that we're doing, we're also doing social sustainability as well as economic sustainability. And all of these go into the different parts of the entire F1 process.
That's great because you're not only focusing on your car, but also focusing on sustainability, which is like very important right now, especially in today's world.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's go on to the next question. What impacts have you seen from your efforts in terms of reducing your carbon footprint?
So social sustainability has played a big role in this. Obviously, we're doing a lot of campaigning and we're also doing a lot of promotion for sustainability, especially among the younger audience. We had a session with 6th to 8th graders about the entire F1 in Schools team. And here also we mentioned about sustainability. Even when we're partnering up with sponsors, it's one of the key aspects we take into consideration. And throughout, like I said, throughout our entire process, even when we're making the car, when we're marketing, when we're designing, we keep all of it in mind. And in each field also, we take different actions to meet sustainability. So for example, in the pit display, the materials we're using, the people we work with to create these materials is one of the most important things, even with merchandise.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
what are the materials and the processes that contribute to your pit display?
So in the pit display, the main material that we're using is Vigo wood or MDF, which is a very eco-friendly material. It's crafted from recycled wood chips and industrial byproducts. So it's all recycled material that would have gone to waste otherwise, and it's also biodegradable. So this will leave very minimal footprints behind after we dispose of it.
Could
Okay, how
you
do you store?
expand a bit more on the Vigo wood that you were talking about?
So Vigo wood, it's also called MDF, which is medium density fiber wood. It's a very simple material and we're using it mainly for the base of the pit display. It is, like I said, it's biodegradable and it's very easily sourced as well. We're doing the pit display in partnership with our sponsor and it's their green partner. They mainly focus on using these type of materials for all their projects and they're helping us use it as well.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to add on to it, right? So basically, MDF is not something that we can easily get from somewhere, right? But because our partner is one of the top interior fit out companies in the country, they can easily, have suppliers for MDF, which is sustainable and it is a recycled material. And, they are helping us build the structure for our pit display. And not only MDF, we also use the remaining, cutouts and waste materials that they have from their other projects, whichever is usable for us. So that way also we try to remain sustainable.
So you're
That's great.
partnering with companies which are more inclined towards the sustainable. Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay. Also,
Can you elaborate on the... Okay.
yeah. So, Minha, you were talking about merchandise. So, what kind of materials do you use for merchandise, and what steps do you take to source these materials?
So for merchandise, we're mainly planning on selling things like tote bags and steel bottles. That too, even the designs that we're going to be printing on this is going to be very simple and minimal because we want to reduce even the amount of paint that's going on to these materials. So tote bags would be made from recyclable cloth or already recycled cloth, and obviously steel bottles will be sustainably sourced as well.
Okay.
That's What specific economic sustainability practices do you implement as a team?
Yeah. So for economic sustainability, right? So what we thought was when we first came out with the, estimated cost of our total project, and we allocated individual budget for each stage, instead of when we filtered out our sponsors, we first targeted companies that already offered services that we needed throughout the different parts of our project. Right. So this way, what we were thinking was instead of asking for actual cash sponsorship, which they were less willing to give, we focused on, requesting them at the services which we required for the project, right? So this way they don't have to actually exhaust their actual cash resources, and they're more willing to sponsor us. And it is more easier for us to market as well, because we can, show an evident piece of work which they've done for us and how they have become relevant for our project.
Okay. So you didn't ask them for
Like, for
monetary
example,
funds.
yeah, for example,
Okay.
if one of our main team sponsors is Sadaf Premium Materials, which, like we mentioned earlier, they're the top one of the top interior fit out companies in this country, right? So they're doing our pit display, which is very design intensive, and them being an interior design company, they're very experienced, and we get access to like their industry grade equipments and facilities, and as well as their connections. So now we can get sustainable materials, waste materials, as well as their equipments and facilities for our pit display designing.
Yeah, and also I think
What?
that ensures that you leave less carbon footprint as well, right?
Yes, much less carbon.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. What have been the biggest challenges and successes in your journey towards sustainability?
I think the biggest challenges is in some situations, there's really nothing we can do to prevent using, let's say, harmful materials. For example, when we're spray painting the car or sanding it, there's already material requirements for that. We can't alter it. So what we've done to combat this is we're planning on calculating all our, let's say, carbon emissions or all our negative footprint and trying to offset it by planting trees and doing other things that would do good for nature. So we might not be able to prevent it, but we can at least help heal from it. And successes would be overcoming these challenges. Another thing is transport. Carbon emissions are mainly from vehicles, and for F1, we've been working on this for about 8 months. There's a lot of traveling required, and what we've done in the past and what we're still doing is trying our best to use public transportation and carpooling, and just trying to use vehicles as less as possible.
That's
Yeah, I
great.
think the point about carpooling, that's like really important because like you said, vehicles produce the most pollution, and incorporating it into our daily life, especially for traveling, that makes a big difference. Yeah. So that was the last question for today's interview. It was great talking to Team Minerva. All the best to you guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. See you on the next episode of BhoomiTalks.